For the last 6 years, these premises in Bedford, currently known as Equilibrium, operated as an alternative therapist centre. Before that, it was a financial service business. But over the years, people who have worked here have had some very extraordinary experiences, even paranormal. We're here to find out what they were and also if there's an explanation. So, let's see who's been knocking at this door. Now, I know all three of you have had some sort of experiences in this shop. Shirley, what sort of experiences have you had?
Well, yes, there have been strange happenings, but one that I had was when I was sitting at my desk upstairs, and I could hear this baby crying. It sounded like it was coming from a house nearby, and of course, Alexander Place just round the corner. I thought it was coming from there, and I called one of my staff who came upstairs, and I said, "How can you hear that baby cry?" And she said, "Yes, isn't it weird?" And she said, "There's been a lot of strange things happening here."
And so, Linda, I know that you had an experience with a loft, I think it was, where something fell out of the loft. Tell me what happened.
That's right, I went up in the loft, and as I went on the left, the ladder kind of like broke a little bit, and all the paint come falling down from the loft. And by the law of gravity, it should have hit me, but every single paint pot, was there about 5 paint pots, Nicky?
About 5 or 6 at least.
And they all kind of went right past and just landed on the floor and missed me.
Now, I believe that you were also there, Nikki. So what did you see?
Something definitely should have hit her. Definitely should have hit her. I mean, I must admit, I think I did put my hands to my face when she did foot, but when I looked and the paint was all around her, I said, have you been hit by the paint? No, she wasn't hit by any paint at all.
So it would appear that there have been some strange experiences happening in this shop. But what are they? And is there any explanation? I'm here to find out. For help with this, we've turned to Archie. Archie's a psychic with a difference. Since childhood, he's been able to see and talk to people from the past, as clearly as he sees and talks to people in the present. For him, there's no difference between the dead and the living. Now, several people have had some unexplained experiences in the shop. Can you feel anything, pick up anything, or anything that might explain the incidences that they've had?
There's a lady in this corner, a young lady. This lady's she's a young teenager, okay? She's quite big built, long hair, but I feel like she hasn't been looked after. She's been kept out of the way. Okay, she's 15, maybe that sort of age, but mentally retarded. She's sort of perhaps of a 2-year-old, okay?
Okay.
But I know that this lady in the black, I've got a man that stood behind me that's he's taller than me, he's shouting at me.
What's he saying?
You don't want to know what he's saying. He's swearing at me.
Right.
But he's collarless shirt, a big tummy with like a big belt on with a big brass buckle on it, like holding his tummy up.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? With like old dirty pair of trousers on, hobnail boots. I can see this guy got these boots on. But I get the impression that he abused
the 15-year-old girl,
and
the little girl.
This girl had a baby that didn't live long, a few days maybe, and I feel like it was either left to go on its own or suffocated, or they put a pillow over it, something like that.
Could he have been the girl's father?
I feel that he was, but he's still about now. I feel like he's in denial, but he's trying to protect it that no one knows.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Right.
That's what that guy's doing. But it's funny because there's a young boy here too from another
period of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're talking 40s, around the 40s.
1940s.
He's got on long grey shorts, sort of grey socks. It's funny, he's got on odd shoes, black shoes, but they're odd.
Yeah.
One's like a little boot and one isn't, but he's showing me that one's got a hole in the bottom anyway, but he's just got on sort of like a sleeveless jumper.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's got a few
there's pullover sort of ones.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Really nice young boy, greased back hair, coming to one side, but he's really interested in being in here. But mainly, this young chap's looking for his sister and his cat. It's funny, the more I talk on that, the more it's sort of clicking to him and he's getting upset. Okay,
Oh, that
it's
his
like-
sister's not coming back?
Yeah, or that he it's just sort of, it's coming to him more that she might be under the rubble. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I can just see the poor boy now crying and going home to get his mum.
Right.
That's what I feel like he's doing. Because I felt they didn't live very far away from here, you know. It was, but it feels rubbly behind us somewhere, sort of around here. It does feel like there's lots of rubble, like a bomb. Not saying it is, but it could well be.
So obviously there's been some sort of
Yeah,
explosion,
Yeah.
bomb, something crashed that's
Yeah.
caused all this rubble that's
That's right,
over
yeah.
that side
yeah,
of the premises.
Yeah.
Mary Heichel Hunt is an academic psychologist with an interest in the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
So Mary, what I want to know is, what did you make of what Archie told us earlier on?
It was after we had spent time here this morning. I beetled off to the library, where I managed to check out a lot of what Archie actually came up with. And I can't begin to tell you how excited I am by it, actually. You know, I'm really bubbling over here with excitement because Archie was actually very accurate in what he picked up. I'd like to start with the little boy first, because you actually, Archie, you picked him up from the Second World War, somewhere in the 1940s.
right.
And I from what I can remember, what you actually were talking about was how he'd found himself he was looking for his sister and he was looking for his cat. Yes?
Yeah,
He was looking for his sister and he was looking for his cat, and it looked as though it was a kind of bombed out situation.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, there were two things that I actually managed to uncover at the library, in the local history section, God bless it, because what we found out was that an airplane had actually crashed near here
right.
in the 1940s.
Yeah,
I don't know that a great deal of damage was caused by it, and we didn't actually have enough time to dig too deep today.
Okay.
But what we did find out was that this airplane had crashed locally, and also there had been some bombing around here as well. So those two things overlapped to actually provide us with the idea of this little lad, sort of standing here in a bombed out place or a
Right.
cratered place.
yeah.
So with more time, I'd have been able to dig deeper and come up with more facts and more information. But there's enough here to suggest already that, Archie was really onto something here today.
So, with Archie's unusual psychic ability to see and communicate with people from the past, we have managed to solve some of the mysteries in these premises. But the question is, who's been knocking at your door?